Germany didn't lose World War II on the battlefield. It collapsed silently, inside abandoned factories, drained fuel reserves, and a treasury that was already empty. By the time Allied bombs began leveling German cities, the Third Reich was fighting a war it could no longer afford. This is the story of the hidden collapse, the economic disaster that destroyed Nazi Germany from within. In the late 1930s, Germany looked unstoppable. Factories roared day and night, highways stretched across the nation, unemployment appeared to vanish. To the outside world, Hitler had performed an economic miracle. But it wasn't a miracle. It was a carefully engineered illusion. Germany wasn't getting richer. It was getting deeper into debt. Massive military spending fueled the appearance of prosperity, while the regime secretly relied on borrowed money and financial tricks to keep the system alive. The Nazi economy was not built for stability. It was built for one purpose only: war. And war is the most expensive gamble a nation can take. Curiosity loop, asterisk. What happens when a country prepares for a short war but gets trapped in a long one? Hitler understood a terrifying reality. Germany did not have enough natural resources to sustain a global conflict. It lacked oil, it lacked rubber, it lacked critical metals. So the Nazi strategy became brutally simple: conquer nations and steal their wealth. When Germany invaded Poland and later France, it didn't just capture land, it captured banks, factories, food supplies, and entire industrial networks. Occupied Europe became an economic lifeline. For a moment, the strategy worked. Looted resources flooded into Germany, temporarily masking the growing cracks beneath the surface. But conquest creates a dangerous dependency. Because the moment expansion stops, the bill comes due. Pattern interrupt, asterisk. And in 1941, Hitler made a decision that would turn this fragile system into a ticking time bomb. Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union, was not just a military gamble. It was an economic catastrophe waiting to happen. The campaign devoured fuel at unimaginable rates. Thousands of tanks, millions of soldiers, endless supply lines stretching across brutal terrain. Germany expected a quick victory. Instead, it found itself trapped in a war of attrition. Every mile east, more oil was drained. Every winter, more equipment is destroyed. Every month, the cost is multiplied. Soon, trains stopped running on schedule. Factories slowed. Fuel was rationed. Germany was discovering a truth every superpower eventually learns. No economy, no matter how aggressive, can survive infinite war. Curiosity trigger, asterisk. But the worst was still coming, because Germany's greatest economic enemy wasn't the Soviet Union. It was mathematics. By 1943, the economic balance of the war had shifted dramatically. The United States had entered the conflict, and America possessed something Germany could never match: industrial scale. While German factories struggled under bombing raids and resource shortages, American assembly lines produced weapons with staggering efficiency. Ships faster than they could be sunk. Aircraft faster than they could be shot down. Tanks faster than Germany could destroy them. The war had transformed into a production contest, and Germany was losing. Badly. For every aircraft Germany built, the Allies built several. For every tank, several more rolled off Allied lines. War is not only fought with soldiers, it is fought with steel, oil, and time. And Germany was running out of all three. Engagement hook, asterisk. Imagine fighting an enemy whose strength grows every single day, while yours shrinks. Then came the bombing campaigns. Night after night, waves of Allied aircraft targeted Germany's industrial core. Synthetic oil plants burned. Rail hubs collapsed. Steel production faltered. Transportation networks fractured. Even when factories survived, supplies often couldn't reach them. The Nazi war machine was no longer being defeated at the front. It was being strangled at home. By 1944, fuel shortages became so severe that pilots were trained without ever flying real missions. Some tanks were abandoned simply because there was nothing left to power them. An army without fuel is not an army. It is a statue. Powerful but frozen. Curiosity loop, asterisk. Yet incredibly, even as the economy crumbled, Hitler refused to slow the war. Instead of scaling back, the regime doubled down. Joseph Goebbels called for total war, the complete mobilization of society. Civilians were pushed into factories. Teenagers were sent to fight. The elderly guarded collapsing cities. But total war cannot create resources that do not exist. You cannot manufacture oil from determination. You cannot print rubber. You cannot bomb your way into prosperity. Germany had crossed the point where belief could no longer replace reality. The economy was suffocating. And still, the leadership demanded the impossible. Pattern interrupt, asterisk. So why didn't Germany surrender sooner? Because collapsing regimes are often the last to recognize their own fall. By the final year of the war, Germany was economically broken. Currency confidence eroded. Infrastructure lay in ruins. Production spiraled downward. What remained of the war effort was fueled less by strategy and more by desperation. When Berlin finally fell in 1945, the military defeat shocked the world. But economically, Germany had already lost long before the last shot was fired. The battlefield did not destroy the Third Reich. Bankruptcy did. Final curiosity hit, asterisk. And history leaves us with an unsettling question. Could any nation fight a global war without first destroying its own economic future? The collapse of Nazi Germany reminds us of a timeless truth. Military power means nothing without economic strength behind it. Wars are not only won by courage or strategy. They are won by the nations that can endure the cost the longest. Because in modern warfare, victory doesn't just belong to the strongest army. It belongs to the strongest economy. History is not just a record of battles. It is a warning about the price of unchecked ambition.